Yo, Tommy, who the fuck is Max Struess? The Struess is loose. What is this, fucking OJ over here? This fucking guy. What is it, Earl the Goat Manigault? This guy over here looking like Larry fucking Bird? Who the Max Struess? I haven't heard of this guy before. This is this guy Bob Cousy. This is Bob Cousy over here playing for the fucking Cavaliers. Get the fuck out of here. This fucking Fugazi Bird out here just this and that, swish, swish, swish. Get the fuck off the court. I'm sick and tired of this shit. Anyways, Raptors lost. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor Podcast, and this is your host, the ELHOOPO, Hoopo. And I'm back with my boys, A.Rod, A-R-O-D, and Mr. Max Profit. You better pay me. And we got a couple of games to talk about here, so let's go. What's up, boys?
What? Not much.
Well, Max Struess is loose, huh? Well, let's just start right there. The game literally just ended, everybody, and I don't have the score up right here. What is it? 105-102 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So one word, boys, one word. How do you describe that one?
Baffled. I'll go with baffled.
Baffled.
They looked quite in control for a little bit, and then the third quarter came around, and then all of a sudden Max Apple Strudel went nuts.
Max, I like that.
I mean, geez, man, what else can I say? Like that was quite wild. And then hey, we went from one nice ATO play to the last play of the game being like, is this Nick Nurse in a Scooby-Doo mask? Because that was a wild ATO play to end the game. I don't know what that was drawn up. I'm just sitting in here in shock. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. What about you, Max? One word. What do you got?
Humbled. Humbled. I felt like, man, are we good enough? Yeah. I was humbled. I was watching the Raptors, baffled, like A-Rod said, and then just like that feeling settles in, like, man, are we good enough, man?
Start questioning shit. I'm going with right away. I thought of that quote from Training Day when they're in the car and he gets super high, he gets wet, and he's like, "Life is about smiles and cries," and that was the cries right there. So, there was a lot of smiles and cries in that game.
I thought you were going to talk about the PCP and the angel dust, but
that's where it comes from. That's the game. We'll call that game PCP. It's like I got high off PCP. Anyways, So, I mean, we don't have to go too far into it, but I do want to say that Max Struess looked real nice. But let's start obviously with the Raptors. The first half, they were blasting. They were. I even went on that Raps Twitter. I said, man, that's it. I was like, we're stomping these guys. That's it. This is game over. I felt great. The Cleveland fans weren't even making a noise at half. They were booing them. So, man, we look good. So what anyone could jump in. What did you see first half, second half, and where do you think it went wrong, I guess, so to speak? Anyone jump in. Go ahead.
I felt like we got bullied, man. I felt like we just didn't play with enough strength in the crucial moments. There was times where we were taking it to the basket and grabbing rebounds, but it wasn't consistent, Yeah. I felt like the 50-50 balls, the 50-50 rebounds, they just didn't go our way,
But once again, Jakob was out there just fighting his tail off. He had a nice little game there. He's got something nice going with everybody. Top of the key, these little drop, these little passes he's got going on. It's nice what he's got going on. When you talk about 50-50 balls, I'm just thinking in my head like the one guy that was fighting, was grinding out there, was definitely Mr. Purtle.
Yeah,
that's why I felt humbled, because we were trying. We were doing it. Purtle was in there. OG was in there. Siakam was in there. Barnes was moving. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, 6 players in double figures. What were we going to say, A-Rod? Sorry.
I was going to say, Scotty and Mobley didn't do a lot on the offensive end, but Mobley was definitely cleaning up on the defensive end for the rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing his part over there, and he was making things very uncomfortable for a bit, even though we were in control. I thought the Raptors did a good job in the first half, especially forcing Garland into all those turnovers. He never really looked like he had full control of the point.
No,
That's kind of what you want to do with a team like that relies so heavily on two guards. Just be as disruptive as you can be, right?
Yeah.
And then hope the game, kind of goes in that favor. But that second half, Jesus, it went from looking nice, with Malachi picking up people at full court, trying to make things a little bit harder, to all of a sudden Max Strus just running little handoffs and getting threes. And this goes back to the pod, a few pods ago, where I was talking about the defensive difference in the Raptors this year is that instead of relying on hard closeouts and athleticism, we're relying on guys to make split-second decisions. And these guys just don't make good split-second decisions right now.
No.
And you could see, a couple of times, I forgot who was chasing Strus, but maybe it was OG. So OG gets screened, Strus gets the ball back, and it's like Precious Achiuwa.
Precious, I was just going to say.
He sags off of him, and it's like, what are you doing? Bro? This guy will not beat you on a dribble. He's going to shoot. So what are you doing?
He lackadaisically just kind of shuffled his feet towards him. Come on, man. This guy's hit 5 straight on you. What are you doing? I know that exact play you're talking about. I was going to bring it up as well. I thought Gary got some juice back, and he's been carrying some of that juice from last game. Even the last 3 games, it seems like he's caught a little bit of fire finally. His confidence may be coming back. But, yeah, man, I'm with you. They just couldn't get it together with that. What'd you see, Max? Sorry, keep going, A.Rod. Sorry,
I just want to say one last thing too. Because you brought up Gary, right?
Yeah.
That last play of the game. I know people will be pissed that he didn't shoot and everything, but listen, that's not on him. That's just a really bad play call and a bad decision on Schroeder's part. Because Schroeder caught the ball, and I believe there's 13 seconds left. Right?
Yeah.
He let that thing
there
go.
was 9. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, maybe a little bit less than that, but he let that thing go down to about 5 seconds, tried a weird little pump fake pass over the top, and just didn't get it. Then gave the ball to Gary, here, fuck it, you take it. And he just shuffled him to the corner where Allen was just there, you can't do that in those situations. You have to be very decisive. It's either you're going for 2 right away and you're fouling again, or you're taking a quick 3 immediately. You don't wait, you don't have all the time in the world, So that's not on Gary, man.
No. I thought to add to your point too, is to keep it on the right side with Gary looking a little better. Is OG's looking a little better too. I remember I was telling you back. I thought he looked a little out of shape. I think he's starting to look like he's in some better shape now as well. I think he's getting over that injury, whatever's happening in his hand, and he looked a little better tonight too. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but happy to see him sort of coming out of his shell slowly, but. Let's jump over to the Cavaliers side. I thought Donovan Mitchell, to me, doesn't look right. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury or a hamstring or something like that, but it just looks like he's just not right. Good thing they had Garland. Good thing they had Strus, because if they didn't, I think the game would have been over. But they're big guys, Allen. And then when Tristan Thompson came in the game, this guy, I forgot he was even in the league for one thing. And then he flexed on somebody, too. I'm like, my God. I wanted to jump through my TV and you could just see all the child support payments he was on at every play. He's like, there's one paid. There's a check paid. There's this paid. There's this guy. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, but I mean, no disrespect. But, yeah.
Leave it to a Brampton guy to ruin the party.
Brampton's the only place I've ever been around live gunshots. And that's true story. Shout
out to Brampton.
Shout out to Brampton. I had to go into a hasty mark, getting ducked down I'm not getting my friend killed tonight. You know what? Everybody watch that game. Let's get out of Cleveland. Just like most people do say, let's get out of Cleveland. So let's, beautiful Ohio. Next game was last Friday. The mistake by the lake. Yeah.
I haven't heard that one. That's a good one, though.
I heard that one before. I like the mistake by the lake.
Mistake by the lake,
man. Well, Chicago was in town under the big lights on Friday. Both teams, I believe, were eliminated by that point in the in-season tournament. This was a so it was pretty much just a season game. It was a blasting, pretty much. I don't have the score up right here. Yeah, 121 to 108 for the Raptors. It was a professional win, I must say. So one word to describe that game, boys. What did you feel and see in that one? Or one word, if you can.
I was thinking trade.
Trade.
DeMar DeRozan back to Toronto.
Oh man,
I second it.
That would be nice. Have him finish out here.
Hey, I mean, I feel like he's more of a Toronto guy than he is of a Cali guy. No disrespect to his hometown.
Now
but
he
shoot,
is.
he got his first checks out here. I'm pretty sure he got his first nice piece of ass out here and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Like real nice. Yeah. I can believe that. What one word for you, A-Rod?
Still baffled. I'm gonna go baffled because here's why I'm doubling up on the baffled. So DeMar got tossed at the end, right? It felt like the Raptors were running up the score, right?
Yeah.
Now check this out. Why don't these guys still understand that point differential matters in these tournaments, right? Although the Raptors are pretty much mathematically eliminated, I believe they could still get a wild card in, right? It's probably less than a 1% chance, but still can do it, right? Now I'm going to bring this up because Phoenix the other night was up, and New Orleans had a plus 33 different point differential, right?
Yeah.
They're in the same group. Devin Booker, even though Phoenix was up by 11 or 12 or whatever, shoots a 3 at the end of the game, goes off the backboard. That 3 put them at plus 34. So even though the Lakers win that division, Phoenix is most likely going through.
Wow.
Wild card. So these things actually matter. So I'm baffled because even guys playing still don't get it, man. You need to play for the points to the end, man.
But they didn't do a good job of really explaining this. It just sort of, boom, in-season tournament, you know?
Okay, maybe they didn't explain it to the public that well, so I'll give you that one. But the players, man, come on. The coaches got to explain it to you. The trainers, the front office. Like, I'm sure you got a pamphlet, man.
I don't know if that's true. There was one player, I can't remember what player it was, but they asked some player, I can't remember who it was, but they asked him, they said, so tell me what you think about the in-season tournament. He goes, to be completely honest with you, I don't know what's going on. I don't remember who it is. I think it was Reggie Jackson.
Are you sure it's not Jordan Poole?
Probably. Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. You know what? If it's part of your job, man, and you got opportunity to do something, especially for the fans, or even win some money, like, come on, man, get with the program.
Yeah.
Like, read the stuff and go through, man.
But this is part of the reason they did the in-season tournament, right? Is to get these guys more focused on their job during the regular season. The NBA suffers from, it's a cut the check night. I'm not even going to watch this game. These guys are just like mailing it in. And so they're trying to avoid all that, right?
Yeah. I think for me, one word or two words. Shout out to DJ Muggs. We were soul assassins that night. We completely just stole souls that night, and even at the very end, just left them sour, like with DeMar getting tossed, and it was, that it was a feel good win. They needed that win. It was top to bottom. There was I counted one push by the Bulls that whole game. I think it was in the third quarter, and we withstood that in a matter of minutes. It was no problem. It was quick do, nice timeout by Darko, clean it up, boom, this is our game, let's go, let's send them home. And so it was nice. It was just toot, past us, done. You know what I mean? So let's look at, I think OG had a big game. Yep, 26 points, I can remember that. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 34 minutes. Jakob again, double, 15 and 10. Who stuck out to you if we go back to the grimy ball? I don't know if we can remember, but I'm giving it to Gary because, again, he's finally catching some of that, just that fire that he had before that he has not had the entire season so far. So I'm giving that grind ball and that win to Gary Trent. I don't know if you guys remember anybody else because it was Friday.
I'll double up with you. I'll give it to Gary as well too.
Yeah.
You're talking about the grind ball for the Chicago game.
Yeah. On a win, we got to give that ball to somebody. So I don't know if you...
Yeah, I'll give it to OG.
OG?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much else we can take out of that game. I mean, Zach LaVine playing his last games in Chicago, I believe. What do you think of that, A-Rod?
All I'm saying is, man, I don't want Zach LaVine.
I don't want him either.
Listen, man, give me some young guys. I don't care if we lose 50 games this season. Just give me some young guys with some heart. I don't want to see no guy going up and down the court making 30+ mil and just sulking. No
That
thanks,
drives me
man.
crazy,
No
man.
thanks. Just like, because you know what's going to happen? He'll come here, he'll get a little bit hype, drop 40 here and there. People go, oh my God, we got Zach LaVine. We got finally a guy that can score and whatever. And then when push comes to shove, when we're really into it, he's going to fold, man. He's going to fold like a lawn chair. And then 2 years from now, this guy will just be collecting checks, man. So, no thanks.
You know, that type of attitude drives me nuts. Just give me a second here. I have a 93-year-old on my Italian side, my 93-year-old grandfather, right? I think I've mentioned him plenty of times before. This guy's my idol. I look up to him, always have. He's ran the Boston Marathon 4 or 5 times. He's ran every marathon you can imagine. He's 93 years old. You can still see his abs. It's incredible. It's incredible. Incredible. But because of all his years of running, his heart rate was super low. Like his resting heart rate was like 39, 40 all the time. Like actually that's where mine's at for resting heart rate, right? But as you get older, that's not a good thing. So his heart, so all that work he did back in the day kind of affecting him in his 90s. Now it's not a good thing. So he can't play his pickleball so much. He gets real tired to do this, do that, and it's killing him because he can't move, right? So he goes and he intentionally goes and says, give me a pacemaker. I heard it's going to help me. Give me a pacemaker. 93 years old. He's like, put it in me so I can keep playing pickleball. And then you got guys out here making $40 million to play the sport that they love. And you're going to sit here and mope and walk up and down the court like a little bitch while 93-year-old grandfather's in the hospital putting his pacemaker in because he wants to play pickleball with some more energy because he knows. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I don't like it, and I don't get it.
It's a classic example. Rant. Yeah, I hear you. It's a classic example. Me and Fame, every time we see that, we say, wrong dude, right position.
Yeah.
With more foul language to it. But, wrong dude, right position. Like, this you see this all the time, everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know. You guys got anything? Sorry about that.
Let's jump to some positive stuff.
Yeah,
that loss was kind of stinky, and I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it anymore, man. It's too fresh, Like we need to get the vibe going.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Here's the vibe. All right, we're gonna jump into Popeye Supplements, very own, brought to you by Popeye Supplements. Where do you guys buy your protein? I don't know about you.
Popeyes.
I buy mine at Popeyes too. What about you, A.Rod? Where you buy your?
I'm about to go to Popeyes right now, man. Are they open? No, they'll be open tomorrow at 10, so I'm there.
I was sitting on the couch with my lady earlier today. I let her fart go. She goes, that actually smells good. I'm like, delicious protein foods. What you need to do is, everybody listening right now, if you live in Toronto, go and find yourself a Popeye Supplements and get what you need for your fitness goals. Because this next segment of This or
That
is brought to you by Popeye Supplements.
Yes.
All right, folks. Everybody likes these. We've been getting messages about this, so we're going to start right off with this or that with a street fight. All right, this one right here. I don't know if you call it a middleweight or a heavy. I think it's closer to a heavyweight. These are legends right here. And I honestly still don't know who I'm going to pick on this one. So in this corner, we got Reggie Evans. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Talk about a dog.
You go back in the time machine with these.
Reggie Evans versus Mr. Quincy Acey. Oh, a couple of dogs.
Oh, I forgot about Quincy Acey. Wow.
So we got Reggie versus Quincy. A.Rod, who you got? Who you got?
Reggie. You know why? Because he be grabbing nuts, man. It's a street fight, man. He's going to any leg to win this thing, man.
He was an animal, man. He was an animal. Yeah, he didn't care. He went after your nutsack. He just didn't care. Man. Who do you got?
Throw up a pick of AC again.
Yeah, Quincy was a fucking.
Let me get some memories. You know what, man? I think I'm going with AC. I remember he was like one of those barely in the league kind of guys.
Yep.
10-day contract, hopping in and out. Like suitcase loaded and ready to go.
Yep.
He knows the stewardess.
He knows the stewardess well.
Saying he lives out that super.
Yeah. I feel like it's a little bit more desperation. Reggie Evans might have been drinking too much the night before. Catch him slipping just a little bit, you know what I mean? I know he's a serious dude, though.
So you're going with Quincy.
I'm going with Quincy. I think he's a little bit more hungry.
So we got Reggie 1, Quincy 1. Man, when Quincy, because I still don't know who I'm going to choose. When Quincy was here, I loved both of these guys. I just was just like, this is who every team needs. You need a Reggie, you need a Quincy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know who I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with Quincy. I'm going to go with Quincy. You know why? Because I'm going to go with Quincy. I'm going Quincy because you remember when he was in New York? He got in, like, I think he tried to fight John Wall. And I think he slapped him in the face open-handed.
Oh, wow.
I might be wrong. But Quincy does not give two shits. And Reggie was a tough guy too. They're both tough guys. But I think Quincy would just catch him with a little bit more speed. I think he would catch him with a little bit more speed. just pop. And I think he would catch him. So,
and the underdog comes out on top. Hey.
I thought I was going to go Reggie too, but...
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, all right, so we got 2-1 for Quincy AC. All right, so this one right here, this one's going to be fun. So who is the more disappointing free agent pick, a free agent signing by the Raptors? First is we got Hoopo Turkoglu.
Hoopo.
Yeah, Hoopo. Or we have DeMarre Carroll. So who is more disappointing? Hoopo Turkoglu or DeMarre Carroll?
DeMarre Carroll, man.
Mm-hmm.
I am not even going to hesitate twice. I remember when he came over, we overpaid big time for this guy.
Yeah, we did.
And I remember within 20 games, I was like, this man is a wage thief. That's exactly what it is. They call that for footballers out in England, you know, when they're not performing up to their standards, right? And then I was just like, this man is a wage thief.
Mm-hmm.
He was showing up on the court doing nothing. Nothing. And then didn't he get hurt for a while too?
Oh,
I almost remember that too.
Yeah, he got hurt for a while. So you're taking Mr. DeMarre Carroll. All right, what about you, Max? You got Hoopo Turkoglu or DeMarre Carroll?
Definitely going with DeMarre Carroll. He had the whole emotional thing when he got his contract and all that, and I felt like, okay, here's somebody that's appreciative. But no, it turned out he was a wage taker. Is that what they say?
They're called wage thief.
Yeah,
wage thief.
I like that.
Yeah, I call them check collectors. You know, like he just he felt like he made it. He didn't feel like, all right, now I owed him something. You know, it was like, damn, I read that all wrong. You know, so yeah, he was definitely a disappointment because he had me like excited. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he had everybody excited.
Mm-hmm.
He had such a nice run in Atlanta prior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so that's 2-0 for DeMarre. Hito's lazy ass when he got here. He knew he didn't want to be here. He just goes in these pasta commercials or pizza commercials, just looking like a bum. He's out here, you know what I mean?
You could see it kind of like on the way in though. Like, here's a guy just, you know.
He was just going about his business. Yeah. And he didn't play any defense. He was just he felt like it was complete. He was out at the club every single night, enjoying Toronto's, you know, nightlife and loving what he had here, this and that. But I think we kind of all knew that. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a surprise. I think that if you want to use the word disappointing, I have to agree with you guys because I think we all had high expectations for DeMarre coming in. Like, this is a nice pickup. This is going to really help us. And then all he cared about was fashion.
I forgot about that. He was kind of like on his fashion,
kind of. That's all he talked about. That's all he did.
But he didn't like. If you don't back it up, you can't be on some fashion stuff. Like, bro,
exactly.
You can't do that. You ain't done nothing.
Yeah,
it's show and prove.
I think I don't know if this is true. But I think there was some issues with his lady too, with some of the players at the time. I don't know if that's...
I kind of remember hearing a few things, not exactly on that, but I remember there was quite a few rumors floating around at the time. For
like some stuff going on, yeah.
But he only played in like, I want to say about 20 games in the first season. Brutal, it must have been somewhere around there, and that was brutal. I still remember this guy, you know, came off that Atlanta team that was really, really good at that
Yeah,
time, right?
and he was good.
That was
He was really
Budenholzer's
good
team,
playing in
right?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came here. But this is a common trend though with the Raptors in general and with Toronto. We overpay guys to come because for whatever reason they don't want to be here. Maybe they're taxed twice. Maybe they don't like the food here. Maybe they don't like the selection of Pop-Tarts. I don't know.
Ugh.
You know.
Well, they like the other selection of Pop-Tarts, though. All right, let's get into the next one. So so that was an easy sweep for Damari Carroll, and I think most listeners will agree with that. The last this or that, it's the same thing, disappointing, but draft pick. I got two Brazilians, Rafael Araujo
Hey.
or Bruno Caboclo. Who's the more disappointing, Araujo or Caboclo? And no disrespect to Brazil. I mean, it just so happened I'm not doing. You're going Hoffa, huh?
Because he ain't the real Jimmy Hoffa.
No.
This man had nice college stats. You knew that he wasn't ready for the league. Came in, did nada bing bada.
Bing boom.
And I gotta say this: Bruno is still 2 years away from being 2 years away. So,
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Max? So we got one for Hoffa. What about you, Max?
I would go with Bruno. He was with us so long. We tried hard with this kid.
So
he
hard.
never shook out. I don't know if he ever got a real fair shot. It was a lot of shake-up. It was a bad time, bad spot. Never worked out.
Yeah.
Way too shy. Never aggressive enough. I don't know why that was.
You remember that one game he had where he had that one good game? He had the whole stadium yelling his name, Bruno.
I think I remember that.
He had like an alley oop. He finished that. He finished a lob, and then he hit like 2-3 shots in a row. And you remember the fans would chant to get him into the game too. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this hurts. But
Dude, he was just like, man, he never shook out. Never shook out.
But Araujo, I think, was more frustrating. I think because there was more banked on him. You remember? Because he was a high pick. Bruno was kind of like we all kind of knew. I never heard.
Bruno was high, man. That was a
What was he again? I don't remember.
He was a first-round pick, man.
Yeah, but it was what? End of the first round, no?
No, I think that was high, man. I gotta go back
I don't
to
remember.
that camera.
But still, yeah, you're right. First round.
First round, 20th overall. That's high, man.
That is still
Jeez.
high.
That is high.
Wow.
I still remember the telecast because it was Jalen Rose and Bill Simmons doing it on the draft night.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Bill Simmons is like, "What do you mean? He's 2 years away from being 2 years away."
2 years away.
And he was being nice saying that too.
That's,
All right, so that's
but you know what? Full shout out to Bruno though, because he did make something of himself.
in Memphis. He had a nice little run.
Yeah,
Oh, he did?
He also
yeah,
had
he
Houston.
did.
He also went to the Brazilian national team. Did pretty well as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hoffa,
I'm glad to hear
we
that.
don't know where Hoffa's at, man. He might be doing some what do you call it, Zumba classes somewhere in Brazil, man.
We don't got a whole lot invested in Hoffa, but we had some invested in Bruno. It's good to see he turned out all right.
That what do they call that? The favela life. Man, well, okay. So I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna go with Hoffa as well.
Hoffa.
I'm gonna go Hoffa just because I remember I had some pretty rough anger towards that situation. I'm like, this guy has wood hands. His hands are made of wood. Literally two by fours. Anyways, next game, boys. Let's get into the next game. The next game is Tuesday against the Brooklyn Nets. What do you want to see real quick? Raptors coming out of this loss tonight to wherever the hell we were, Cleveland. What do you want to see them coming into this next game in Brooklyn? Anybody jump in? A.Rod, what do you want to see?
A little more consistency and also a little bit better understanding of the system that you're trying to play for defense. I'm not looking so much at win-losses. They still matter, and obviously still hurts when they lose. But I do want to see just better decision making, man. Like when you see Cam Johnson out there, understand that Cam Johnson's not beating you to the basket. Step up, get in his grill. Don't allow him to shoot threes, especially open, uncontested threes. When you're playing Mikal Bridges, throw in some blindside blitzes, man. Like if he's trying anything on like the post block or anything, just try and trap him from the other side where he doesn't see it coming. Try and turn the ball over, make it uncomfortable. For Claxton, don't allow him to rim run. Box out, like just do basic things. I want to see some like more consistency from that angle, not so much like who's going to score 20 points or whatever, because anybody can have a good night at this point. But I want to see the system start to develop a little bit more for the Raps.
I like it. What about you?
I
Max?
like it. A-Rod got them X's and O's down. You know what I mean? But I remember when you were talking about the other episode, a few episodes ago, with Pascal and Barnes on the opposite side of the mob table and not quite. So my whole theme with this game against, who we playing?
Brooklyn
is chain of command. I want to see a chain of command on this team. Who's the man? Who's the second man? Who's the third man? Everybody's got to settle in and
you're all running numbers. You're running numbers. We got the underboss, the boss. Yes, absolutely.
Let's not mix duties here. Everybody's got to have their set of things to do and things they're in charge of, and be the boss of this and you be the boss of that. Like, I want to see that, you know? There's too much chefs in the kitchen with the Raptors. I don't know who's running this thing out here.
I like that. Well, you know what? Let's end it at that. Thank you, boys. So let's talk and hope that happens. I hope that both of those things happen right there, because if they can put those two things together, I think we can take out a nice little much-needed win out of New York. So, boys, till next time. That was a lot of fun. Once again,
salute.
And that was another episode of the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor Podcast. I'm your host, Hoopo. You know how to spell this shit. And that's A.Rod over there, and that's Max P. If I ever tell you to shut the fuck up like Popovich, you better shut the fuck up. So next time you want to listen to a podcast, whatever, just find me on Spotify, find the videos on YouTube. Shut your mouth.